Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. We are going to continue with our junk journaling with the Fall Vibes digital paper. Took a break last week for Paper Pumpkin Week, but this is where we've got to so far. This is our front cover, our first page, our second page, and then our back cover. So what we're going to be working on today is page 3 and 4. And I got out my tearing ruler and tore up the little cute animals. I've got some butterflies and a label from my stash, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff kind of going on. I want to talk to you today about making your own tag toppers. I know when you get downloads and that you can cut out like little fold over tabs, but you can also make your own. Stampin' Up! Actually has a punch that you can punch them out of anything, and I've ordered it, but I have other punches and I want to show you how you can make your own kind of file tab topper using what you've already got. I have used an old Stampin' Up! Or old Sizzix die to cut out some shapes. Now this is the Big's Top Note die, and I used to use it for making bag toppers and that, but this time I'm using it here. And if you've got one of the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machines, you can still use these dies. You just put them between your two number 3 plates and run it through your machine. So you can absolutely still use these. I've got a stash of them in my craft room. So this one I just folded in half because I want to make it a pocket. And this one I'm going to just have like this, but I'm just going to layer it up underneath. So first thing we need to do is, why don't I show you the tag topper trick that I wanted to show you. So any punch will do, but this one specifically actually has that kind of shape to it. This is the to the point punch, and I've also got the modern oval, so you could do an oval one as well if you wanted to. Now the trick with these is not to cut all the way to the edge. What you're going to do is you're going to fold your paper over, and it can be paper or it can be cardstock. I'm just going to give this a bit of a push just to make sure that it's nice and crisp. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in your die or in your punch, and you're going to line it up so that the fold is close but not quite at your edge, and then you're just going to punch like that. There we go. And then what you can do is you trim this off. You can use your scissors or your machine, and then you've got a file folder tag topper. And this one I did on the plain side, but you could have it on the pattern side as well. And I haven't cut it very straight, so I'm just going to come back in and just trim that up a little bit. There. So then if you wanted to put it on the top of something as a pull, or punch a hole in it and put an eyelet and a string on it, you absolutely could. So that's how you can modify and use punches and things that you already have in order to make the shapes. Now this one I thought, oh, I can just go ahead and make the shape, but the problem is if I fold it in the middle, it's the wrong way up. The top is wider than the bottom. So that's why you do it, putting your piece in, your folded edge in, just before this blade would come down, just so you can maintain that folded edge. Anyway, let's get back to building our cards. So there's a couple of tips for you there. Using the old foam Sizzix dies in your Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and how to use dies to make your own kind of file folder tabs by folding over your cardstock and stamping. So that's going to go like that. We're going to go ahead and just do some edging. I am using Stampin' Up's Blackberry Bliss for this because I wanted to kind of punch up more of the blackberry color as opposed to the orangey fall color for this. There we go. And I'm just going to come around and do the same on the page edges. And you can do this, you can bring it in as deep as you want just by changing the angle of your brush. If you have your brush really straight on, you just get the edge. But if you have it on more of an angle, you'll get a wider kind of color transfer. And if it feels like you're having to work really hard to get the ink, just re-ink your brush. And if you get more ink in one spot and less in another, that just adds to the kind of the art journal, junk journal type of idea. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around, ink up those edges. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to pop the ink away. No, I'm not. But some more pieces I need to kind of add just a little bit of color to the edge. This is just plain tissue paper. I'm going to add that. What else do I need to add color to? To add color to this. I've recently started doing an altered book. So I went to the thrift store and I found a hardcover copy of a Jude Deveraux book. I really enjoy her books. And I tore a bunch of the pages out so that it didn't get to be too big. So what I've got is a whole bunch of book pieces that I can use. So lots of text, and it's kind of neat to see a snippet of the story and try and decide which book it is and where in the story it is. Okay, I think that's all the coloring that I know I should color these two. So, and the fact that I use my tearing ruler means the edges are really jagged on these. And there's lots of kind of white on the edges, so it's going to pick up the color really, really well. So we're just going to go around. I don't know how many of these I'm going to use, but we will do them all so I don't have to come back and do this again later. And then we will start building our page. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's just put that right out of the way. Okay, so this one and this one go on this page with this, and this comes on this page. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. So let's get my adhesive out. And we're just going to pop this down. And I don't know how big your screen is. You can see in here, it's just hilarious. The first thing that caught my mind was pants, underwear hung from the light fixture. But the context of this is it's a toddler who doesn't want to eat his breakfast. So it's absolutely not the first thing that came to my mind. But yes, so yeah. Like I say, it's fun to pick up little bits of the story and imagine where in the story it is. So I've just put double-sided tape on the back of this pocket, and we're going to pop this down right in the middle like this. There we go. So we've got the pocket piece at the top there. And we're going to just add some of that Blackberry Bliss to the edge of this. Okay. And then I'm just going to adhere this down to the front of this. And then we're going to add these butterflies. And again, these are from my stash, and I just need, they're washi butterflies, so I just need to peel up the edge. So bear with me while I peel this edge up. And there we go. I was going to say, if that edge doesn't come up, I'll try another one. So we're going to pop this kind of up like this. I don't want to go over the edge of the top, really. I've just gone over the corner, but that's all right because that's not where we're going to be putting tags in. And we're going to peel this this one. There we go. And we're going to pop this one down here like this. Okay. And I threw that tag away, and I shouldn't have thrown that tag topper away because I want to use it. That's the bottom of it. Of course, now I won't be able to find it in my bin. Nope. It is gone for good in my bin, which is kind of a pain in the butt because I wanted to use it. Oh well. Oh no, it's in. I kept it out. Ha 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 ha. Because I'm that clever. Okay, so I'm going to take this little bunny and I'm going to pop this on the top. I'm going to pop it on this way so you can really see it. And let's just add some color to it. One thing about the Blackberry Bliss is it's a really juicy ink pad, so you get lots and lots of use out of the color that's in the brush. So I'm going to do that. And then we're just going to pop this on here like this. Here we go. And then he can just slip in the pocket like that. And we can come up with a way to decorate this topper as well. But maybe not right now. We'll carry on with the next page and you can kind of get the idea of where I'm going with the next page. Adhesive, I need my adhesive. There we go. So we're going to do that. And we're going to pop this down right here. And I've already hole punched these pages, so it's really easy to see where the elements of the page need to line up. Put that like that. And then I'm going to put adhesive on here like this, and I'm going to take a piece of this ribbon or lace, and I'm going to layer it on like that. And then I'm going to take this piece of ribbon and I'm going to put some adhesive right on the ribbon. And we're going to pop that down like this, just like that. And then I need to find this piece. And we're going to just adhere it down kind of over top of those elements and then give it a good push. And then I need to decide which one of these. I think I'm going to go with the squirrel on this one. I really love this little squirrel. And I need to decide what I'm going to put underneath it. And I think I'm just going to put this one underneath it. So let's see if we can grab some more color yet off this brush. And there's lots more color on the brush. That's fabulous. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on this edge so I can stick this down like this. And really all I'm doing is just creating a line break for the eye so that the image doesn't get lost in here. So we're just going to layer this down, pop this in like this. And I think that might pretty much be all we're going to do. So this one doesn't have an interactive element. This one has the pocket and you can put whatever, you can write whatever you'd like on here. You can decorate your piece here, your tag topper here. But I think that's all we're going to do with this one today. And I really like the Blackberry Bliss ink with this paper. So thank you so much for watching. And next week we will have new digital paper to work with. So thanks so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.